Welcome back. Well, our Flashback Friday segment today is right here in the studio because I have a very special guest joining me, and that is former SDSu quarterback Dan Fjeldheim. So thanks for coming in.
Hey, it's rivalry week, right? Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. A Jack and a Yote in this one. But Dan, you played at SDSu quarterback for the Jacks from 1999 to 2002. Old NCC days, and obviously a big part of this historic rivalry. So what was your favorite moment as a player from this in-state matchup?
Sure. So the last game we ever got to play in Brookings as seniors was against USD. So that was our senior day, last game in front of the home crowd. And obviously the lead up to it all week, but then it was a great game. They tied it up with a few minutes left. We got the ball. Our O-line was able to pop our running back, Scotty Nedved, for a touchdown run with a couple minutes left, and then our defense held on and won the game. But game like that, going down to the wire, in-state rival, I mean, it was just a great memory.
Yeah, you can't really ask for much else. Well, Dan grew up in Watertown, South Dakota kid. So obviously in high school, growing up, you knew about this rivalry. You knew about the Jacks and the Coyotes going at it. But I feel like there's something a little different when you get to campus and you're on the team with the upperclassmen. So how did you kind of learn about what it really meant to be a football player in this rivalry?
Yeah, so I'd seen some games in high school watching as a fan, and you could see that the teams really didn't like each other. Kind of got after each other a little bit. But then when you get on campus as a freshman, all the seniors would get up during the week and talk about what the rivalry meant to them. And, they had, anytime you got players that you played against in high school on the other team, or some teammates were on there, just that familiarity and just, yeah, we really don't like these guys. This game means a little bit more than the rest of them.
Yeah, exactly. Always a very intense matchup, but a matchup that the Jacks have really owned in the past, I don't know, however many years, since the early 2000s to now. USD actually hasn't beaten the Jacks in Vermillion since 1997. They haven't beaten them since 2000, I believe, in Brookings. But you've seen this rivalry grow over the years, change. Both teams now Division I FCS. So how have you kind of seen this rivalry grow and change now from when you were in college to 2017?
I mean, we're on the national stage right now. I mean, you've got number 6 versus number 10. I mean, I don't know how many states in the country at the FCS level can say we've got 2 top 10 teams in one state. USD has improved over the last few years. With Coach Nielsen, he's done a great job and won everywhere he's been. So I don't think it's a surprise that they're where they're at right now. And as far as the Jacks go, we've been able to build on some good momentum we've had the last few years to where, we expect to be in the playoff hunt every year. So just all that, I mean, this game hasn't had something like that on the line in a long time. So in order to have 2 top 10 teams, playoff implications, rivalry, I mean, let's go.
Exactly. Can't wait for tomorrow. But Dan works for Daktronics based out of Brookings. And through Daktronics, you actually got to know USD head coach Bob Nielsen a little bit. So tell us about that.
Yeah, when he was at Duluth, he was the football coach and AD up there. And when I first started for Daktronics, I covered the schools in Minnesota. And Bob worked on a couple of projects with him, so got to know him. And I did play in the golf tournament down in Vermillion this weekend and saw him, so we kind of reminisced, and he's like, oh yeah, I remember you, and so kind of caught up like that. So, but he's a great coach. He's got the Yotes headed in the right direction, so it should be an exciting game tomorrow.
All right, well, definitely looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. It's always nice to have the perspective of standout alum, especially during the rivalry week, so thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kelly.
All right, well, coming up after the break, it's a special rivalry edition of Head to Head with some USD and SDSU alumni, and another guest joins us in studio to make a pick on tomorrow's game. You're watching Midco Sports Tonight.